Why do I always look so freaking crappy? Anyway. Hello, all of my YouTube people. I am in the shop again here today, like always. And the Dyna is so close to being ready for its inspection, but it is a never-ending waiting game, just waiting for parts to show up. So there's just a few parts that are in on order right now that I'm waiting for, and they're pretty necessary parts, like some brake banjo fittings and a brake line that I need, and front fender, whatever. I think I've mentioned all that stuff, but I'm still waiting for it all. So while I'm waiting and the Dyna sits here mostly put together, I'm just going to button up a few things, Loctite some stuff that needs to be Loctited, and tighten some things down so that all of that stuff is out of the way. And I got my chocolate milk with me here. I've already drank all that today, so that's my lunch. And it's really good. I don't know if you guys can get this Dutchman dairy chocolate milk where you're from, or you know, something else is good, but this stuff is like, it's the stuff. This stuff's real good, especially when it's cold. And yeah, anyway, go get some chocolate milk and feel happy. And I will just do my last little few final touches, whatever I'm able to do on the Dyna, and I'll let y'all watch me, and maybe I'll, like, I don't know, talk and be annoying and stuff like that. And I'm not showing you guys a full view of the Dyna yet, because y'all have to wait until it's ready to be seen. So I've still got some other videos of me, like, doing things on the Dyna to get it to the point where it's at now. Or do I? I don't know. I didn't video a lot of it because it's just been a nightmare and a half. So like, one example of the nightmare kind of things going on here is, like, okay, so something super simple. My throttle cables showed up yesterday, and went to put the throttle cables on, put them on, and the bars that I've got on here now are like probably like 2 or 3 inches shorter than the bars that I took off, because those bars were bent. And anyway, so after I get the throttle cables on, then, like, I go to, like, turn my front wheel, or turn the front end, and the fittings at the top of the cables are, like, rubbing all over the gas tank. So there goes that paint job, but it wasn't perfect anyway, and it's flat black, right? And the tank's all screwed up anyway. So anyway, that ended up being just a bunch of messing around, and what we ended up doing is something that a lot of people probably will not agree with, and I'll probably get some criticism for, because it's not an ideal way to fix the problem, but it was a quick fix. And honestly, it's just getting to the point where I'm just like, I just want to get this thing inspected and finished. I just want to get it inspected so I can do whatever I want with it after that, right? Like, I just need to be able to get it insured, and I need to get it past this inspection. So what we did there was we ended up making spacers for the handlebars to lift the handlebars up. So I guess it's almost like a riser in a way. So I don't know, it's not that bad, but it's not ideal. And I didn't film that either, because, like, by the time, like, by the point, at the time when we had discovered that this was all an issue, and we were, like, messing around with the cables, and the cables were just being a pain in the butt, and then we get them on, and then we realized that, like, oh, the handlebars are too, like, nothing's working. So by the time we started making the spacers, we were just, like, trying to hurry up and get it done. So I didn't film that, which is kind of too bad, because it would have been cool to show you guys how we made those. But basically what we ended up doing is I had this chunk of, get it here. Oh, chunk of like inch thick aluminum plate. So we used a couple hole saws or one hole saw, and just slightly bigger than the diameter of the bars. And yeah, we hole sawed out a couple spacers and then just used a step drill and drilled the centers out to be 1/2 inch so that they would fit the bolts that bolt the bars on. And that worked pretty good. I'll show you guys that in a minute. But yeah, that's just an example of just like how a job like putting on throttle cables that should take like, I don't know, 20 minutes ended up taking half the day. So it was stupid and annoying. So anyway, I figured I'll just make this little update video for you all, and you all can watch me just like do some relatively boring stuff like Loctiting bolts and whatnot, and you know, just whatever, but it's an update anyway. And I'll show you guys these handlebar spacers now. So let's see, I can't get too close with this camera because it doesn't have macro, but these are the spacers in here, and we painted them flat black because we thought it would look better that way, and it actually doesn't look too bad. So turned out all right. Yeah, turned out all right. So that doesn't look too bad, and I'm happy enough with it. Like I say all the time with the Dyna, it ain't gonna be pretty. It's just gonna be done. So yeah, I'll just get this camera set up on a tripod and get Loctiting some bolts and stuff and try to think of something to talk to you all about, and I'll just roll around on my rolling chair because who doesn't like a chair with wheels in the shop, right? Like, so handy. Yeah, I think that is it basically. Yeah, well, oh, and also Shovelhead is off the road for the season, and it makes me so sad. Yesterday was the last ride, last day of insurance, and sad because it's so nice out still. Like, I'm riding in a sweater and a vest. Like a sweater. Like, and I probably don't even need a sweater at certain parts of the day, but yeah, so, but it's kind of like, it's good because the bike needs work and I should not be riding the heck out of it with some of the things that I need to do on it. Like, yeah. Anyway, that's just my sad little story about not being able to ride my Shovelhead anymore this year, but it's okay. Look at it sitting out there all sad. Might not show this part in the video because that is a messy tent. Yeah, anyway, okay, enough of this intro. Let's just get bolting things up, okay? Okay, and drinking my chocolate milk. Oh, I cannot wait to drink this. All right, I decided to change the setting on my camera so that it wasn't giving you this whole fish-eyed look, because I had it set to the setting that I normally use for when I take my ride videos, because that setting gives like a wider angle. And I do not need that wide angle in the shop here because it kind of makes things look funny. So it's on a normal setting now, just if anything looks different to you guys, that's why. And I've got a few of the things that I need sitting here on the seat of the Dyna. One of them being a list of whatever I've got to do on the Dyna here. So this is what I'm going to be doing today, which should not take me very long because we already dealt with all the problems on these little jobs. So yeah, I gotta Loctite some things, and that's basically what I'm doing there. Someone is vacuuming outside the door, so I'm going to wait. No, I'm using Permatex thread locker, red and blue in different spots. And I'm going to tell you guys that this is the last time I cheap out on thread locker, because the Loctite brand just has so, like, their containers for holding it in are just much better. Where these Permatex containers, I'm sure that the actual thread locker, like goo or whatever, liquid, works just as well. But the containers suck. The Permatex containers just suck. So I've probably wasted so much of this thread locker just because the lid, like, doesn't seal. So look, I'll like shake it up. Okay, this one's not so bad. The blue one's really bad though, but I'll shake it up and then it'll just be like all over the place inside the lid after I've shaken it. So that's annoying, but it is okay. So actually I don't even need the red one yet. I need a blue. So first things first, this one's gonna make a mess because it does not go down on there all the way. If I can fix that. Well, I'm not even gonna, let me see here. I thought I had one of these around. I think it's all just like clogged up in here. Making it so the lid won't go down all the way. Why is it that every time I start to film, ruckus begins to happen? Noise and ruckus. It'll be peaceful and quiet. And then as soon as I turn a camera on, it's just all kinds of noise coming from all over the place. Why? I do not know. I just do not know. Okay. That's a dirty rag. Let's get this wiped off now. Okay, good enough. That can go on the floor because I gotta wipe some oil up over there. Hey, it actually worked. Fixed it. Okay, shake that up. I hope I fixed it. And then I will blue Loctite into my rear fender bolts. And yeah, it'll be good. It will be good. So let's get this camera set up. So I've got these bolts here, front and back on either side, and then another bolt down in here. So I will start actually with the one down here. Should actually just have a ratchet. What is this, 3/16? 7/32. Get a ratchet. Instead of taking half a day to take a bolt out, I'll just use a ratchet. There we go. I don't think I need a lot. I do not need a lot on here. Obviously. Let's give it a little wee drop. I think that should be good. A little more on that side, and that should be good. I always blow it so it's in the threads so that it doesn't end up rubbing off on the hole. Should be good. This one up here. I want to get this done quickly. So I want to go home and do laundry. I actually never know how much thread, like Loctite, should be used. I never know. It's one of those things that I, like, basically, no matter how many bolts I've Loctited, I always end up asking my dad how many, like, if it's enough. Jeez, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I don't want to do that up too tight. I think that should be good. Now this one, which I will not be able to get a ratchet into, I will use this. What the heck? It's not the one that I was just using. Are these all different sizes? No, that's not possible. Oh yeah, these ones are smaller. Oh, darn it. Oh, that's not tight at all. Well, I guess they haven't been tightened up yet. Oh, I really wanted to use a ratchet. Yeah, like, is there a science behind Loctite? I'm sure that there is. Like, I don't know. I just never know how much to use. But I guess it all just depends on what you're using it for, what, where, and when. Or whatever, you know? I am just so looking forward to having this thing done, and I'm just so glad that I do not have to be here working on this thing day and night anymore. Just waiting for parts, and then we will get back to work on it. Back to work, doing the work that needs to be done. I really just want to do the work on my shovel head, because that poor thing has just been neglected because of this Dyna project. And oh yeah, I am going to be honest, I feel like this is the last time I'm going to ever buy a project Harley, or any project for that matter. I don't know, that's how I feel right now. But I say that today, and then tomorrow or next week or next year, some kind of deal comes along and I'm just back at it. I think that it is a mental condition. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not. But honestly, I do. Like, seriously, can anybody else relate? Like, yeah, I think that's too much Loctite now. Shoot. Can anybody else relate to that? Like, well, maybe it's not too much. Really. Just like the habit of buying motorcycles and being so obsessed. It's almost like a problem. Almost a problem. But it's a problem that I like. So I accept it. That thing. That's just a hard turn on that one. Just both ways. I don't know why. That should be good. So much on this bike was just so filthy. Okay, don't tell me that that's all loose. Okay. Yeah, so much on this bike was just so filthy that, like, even the bars back in behind the fender that the fender mounts to were just like the threads in those little bars, I don't know what they're called, were so full of dirt. I cleaned them out with a tap, and I probably ran a tap through each of those threads like 3 times to get all the dirt out of them, and they still feel like dirty. They still feel like, I don't know, they still feel like they could be better, but I cleaned them till stuff stopped coming out. And I think it's just from being parked on the coast for so long that these, everything's just like corroded all to heck. So yeah. And I definitely, I don't know if I've said this before, I feel like I've said this a few times, but the lady who I bought this bike off of, I just am just like, man, she was such a liar about it. She just lied right through her teeth about how much she had, like, well, first of all, she told me that she'd, after the bike was in the accident, and it hadn't been insured, for like 5 or 6 years, so it had been off the road, right, for that amount of time after this accident, and just sitting in her living room, apparently. So, but then she tells me, when I was, like, going to make the deal, that she, had been riding it oh, you know, I've been riding it every day, like not every day. She said that she'd take it out often, like every year or whatever, and she would ride it around just to make sure everything was all good and stuff. But when I went and picked it up, and I have a video of me going to get it, the moment I put my hands on the bars and went to push it up into the truck, I knew right away, as soon as I grabbed those bars and they like moved forward like 2 or 3 inches, and just by the way that some of the like the rear fender was rubbing and stuff like that, and the further I got into the project anyway, but at the moment I put my hands on the bars, I knew like she was full of it, and just like she had not been riding this thing. This thing's not been ridden since it was crashed, I'm sure. And like anyone who's watched my video of me doing the first startup, I think is where I mentioned that the oil was full of gasoline as well. So, and the hole in the primary was completely dry, and there was like chunks of primary inside of the primary drive, and chunks of aluminum, I should say, from the primary inside the primary drive, and it was just it was just a mess, man. And it's a good thing, I guess it's a good thing that she was lying about riding it. Like, she didn't have to lie, but it's a good thing that she wasn't actually riding it, because then the bike would have been toast, I'm sure. I'm just glad that the motor's good. Well, the whole bike's good. It's just a mess. Just a mess. Okay, the fender is done, so now let's do some of the other things on the list. Okay, next job. Got my rear fender bolts done. Scratch that off the list. So next job is putting a bit of Loctite on these signal lights, because it's a Harley, and even if it's rubber mounted, still shakes like shoot. Just shakes. So Loctite, whatever needs Loctiting, right? Which makes me think, yeah, thinking of other things that should be Loctited. Now let's get these done. Oopsie. Can't use a ratchet here either. Dang it. Yeah, everything's such a tight fit on this bike. It's a little bit of a challenge. Like everything on my shovel head is much tighter of a fit. But my shovel head, the difference with my shovel head is that it was built, it was all built to be custom, so everything fits together as it should. With this Dyna though, now, even the signal lights have to be at just the right angle so that they don't hit the tank when you turn the front end all the way. Get in there. So that's annoying. I should stop saying that, because not everything is annoying. It's just like, I don't know, one of those things. You just gotta be, everything's gotta just be so specific. Now, I wanna make sure these signal lights are perfect. I wanna make sure they're perfectly perfect. So yeah, I'm gonna get technical here, people. I did not do that up nearly tight as I should have to get that done. I'm gonna get technical. It's not rocket science, it's just science. It's kind of like science. Motorcycle science, which is not science at all. Not science at all. But it can be science. Make sure that doesn't move. It's a little bolt, so it doesn't have to be up too tight. Okay. My neck hurts. Okay. Roll around to the other side of the bike. Call me lazy, but I don't care, because who doesn't like rolling around on a shop chair? Really? Tell me you don't. You will be a liar. I love rolling around. Rolling around on a shop chair. I should just get a little I should get a little shop stool, and like I want to get a low down shop stool. Okay, as I was saying before my camera died, I want like a really low down shop stool, and there was this one mechanic I used to work with at Harley, and he had a shop stool that was literally like that low off the ground. It was probably like a foot, and it had wheels on it, but the thing just like rolled around so nicely. I want one like that, one that I can just like scoot around on real quick. And yeah, that'd be so handy, because so many times it's like you're basically sitting on the floor anyway, and it's like who wants to sit on a dirty old shop floor? Like, okay, sometimes I can do, sometimes sometimes I don't care. I'll just take a seat on the floor, put a piece of cardboard down, whatever. But it's like I don't really want to do that all the time. And like, yeah, I'm not old, but I'm also not a teenager anymore, and things get sore, which I'm sure a lot of you can relate to, and I'm not going to complain at all, because a lot of you probably have aches and pains that you deal with on a daily, and I'm not going to complain, because I'm still got my youth for the most part, I guess. Now, but I will say, and this is getting a little bit personal, but a lot of you guys don't know a lot of personal details about me, because I don't talk about that stuff, because we're here to talk about bikes and do bike stuff. But reason why my shovel head's not a hardtail, because I love hardtails, and I would love to have my shovel head be a hardtail, because I just love the way they look. The reason why mine is not is because I have like a really bad neck, and my neck these last 2 days has just been like causing me lots more pain than what it normally does. So yeah, but anyway, that's why I don't have a hard tail frame for my shovel head. Not that anyone ever asked about it or anything, but I just feel like my bike would be so cool with one. But my neck, I've got degenerative disc disease, I guess, which is partly hereditary, I think, But the doctor told me that normally you don't see it in people until they're like in their 60s, and I'm only 30. So he also told me that the only way to fix it, well, you can't really fix it. You can only what they do, because it's like degenerative disc disease, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's the discs, the cartilage between your vertebrae are deteriorating. Mine are deteriorating, and so they're deteriorating, and it's making it so that the actual vertebrae, like the bone part, is rubbing together. So as they're like rubbing together, the more that they rub together and the more that the cartilage deteriorates, the more that the actual like vertebrae, say this is the vertebrae and these are the space between my hands is where the cartilage should be, the discs. So as the discs deteriorate, the vertebrae get closer together and they start to kind of rub, but then because of the rubbing and stuff, and that causes a lot of pain, but they start to grow little, like I've got little like spikes growing, so they grow little like calcium buildups like this, where they're trying to actually like grow together, and they can't do anything to fix that or make it go away. All that they can do is basically just like give you surgery and fuse the discs, fuse the vertebrae together, so that you don't have to like deal with the pain of them doing that themselves. And I really don't want my neck to just be like fused into a lump, like not at my age especially. So it kind of sucks to know that it's just something that is happening and I can't do anything about it. And these last couple days my neck has been really sore, and it feels like I can feel it actually trying to fuse together, and it gives me like headaches and stuff. So what I was saying is it's partly like hereditary, but mine I think was like what's the word, mine was actually like triggered from a car accident I was in 2015, and I got really bad whiplash in this car accident, which gave me all kinds of other issues, like with my shoulders and my neck and like my entire upper body. And I have not gone, like I should be regularly going to physiotherapy and massage and stuff like that, and I don't, because I just don't normally have time. And I probably should start making the time, because like your health is just something that when you start to lose it, as I'm sure some of you know, it sucks, and then you kind of probably start to regret not taking care of yourself a little bit better. So anyway, that's just a little bit of a more personal, like, you know, just stuff that I have going on. So that's why my bike's not a hardtail. But I think I'm just mostly saying that because I don't complain about pain that I have a lot, but I do definitely have actual problems that cause me pain. And on that note, I know that there are some other like Christian believers that watch my channel, and if you guys would like to pray for me, that would be great, because I really don't want my neck to be fused together by the time I'm 40. And I believe that, you know, God has control over all of those physical things. Not that he always answers prayer in that way, or makes it so that our health, you know, not that he always like heals people or anything like that, but he can. So yeah, anyway, that's it. That's all. That's it. Okay, these signal lights are done now, so I'll scratch that off the list. I'm trying to hurry up and I'm just taking my time. So, okay, signal lights. None of this should take very long. Okay. While I'm on this side of the bike, I will do the gas tank bolts up and my fuel line, which I have not done up yet. Okay. Man, I love this chair. It rolls around so nicely. So, let's do my fuel line up. Jeez, I gotta stop talking like an idiot when I talk. Okay, I'm just gonna get down here. Down on the level, to the level. Now this has to go. This has to go over here. Get that out of there. Make sure I don't put that under there. Yeah, it sucked to forget that. Then go to turn the petcock on with a gas tank full. That would suck. And I got my, because my choke lever, the little choke thingy got broken. So my dad put this on here. That's actually off of I don't know, it's out of some old truck or something like that. So it's like the panel lights switch, I think that's what it is. Let me try to do this up good. Not too tight now. That should be good. Get that off the list. And then the gas tank bolts. I can do up as well. Which I'm just gonna do these up, and I don't think I'm gonna Loctite them because I don't know if I might have to take this off one more time. I don't think I'll have to, but you just never know. And I got locking nuts, so they don't really need to be Loctited. Okay, why do I have this big, huge extension on here? I do not think I need that. Definitely do not need an extension. That's good. And the ones up here. So, I think I showed you guys my or did I show you my wiring? I don't think I showed you my wiring. So I'll show you guys that too while I'm over here near the wiring. All of the wiring that we had to clean up because there's so much wiring on these bikes, guys. It's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Can I get that on there or what? So, let's get this tightened up and I'll show you guys. Okay. Ow. All right, so my dad redid a bunch of the wiring because it was all too long after we changed the bars, and we just cleaned it all up. So rather than having a bunch of connectors hanging out here, he made it so, because there was so much room in the headlight bucket, so we've got all the connections for the signal lights and for everything actually is hidden away in the headlight bucket. And then the ground, let me get on the other side of the bike here. The ground for everything is wired in. All the grounds for all of the lights are all wired into, and for the dash too perhaps, which I don't remember, but they're all wired into a single grounding strap, which I'm gonna end up popping a hole in the frame there to ground that too, so that it's not grounding on the front end and we don't have current going through the neck bearings or anything. So yeah, that all looks much better than it did. It's all nice and cleaned up, so you can't see a whole bunch of wiring at least. And now, while I'm on this side of the bike, got some stuff to do down here, where I'm gonna get this lower. So, got my brake pedal on, and I'm gonna grease this up. What am I? Do I have to take that off? It's as low as my camera goes. Okay. So I'm gonna grease this brake pedal too. Oh, this is already done up tight too. Ugh. Shoot. Am I doing that the wrong way? No, I'm not. There we go. That's a tight bolt. Tight nut. Let's see. That's tight. Tight nut on there. Oh, shoot. Why, when you drop things in a garage, do they always roll off into oblivion somewhere? I'm gonna have to put some grease in there. A little bit of grease is probably a good idea. Take that out. Well, hold on. I could probably actually get my little needle fitting and pop that in there. Okay, grease is good, but I hate using it. It's always such a mess. Can I even get that in there? I don't think I can. No, I cannot. Shoot! I don't want to take it off all the way. Oh, okay. Here I go. I really didn't want to have to do it this way, but gotta do it proper if I'm gonna do it at all, right? Otherwise, there's no point. Okay, and now I can't get the cotter pin out? What the heck? This is a deal here. There we go. Come on, get on out. Get on out. Yeah, there you go. Might as well do it properly, right? That grease didn't do a single thing. Okay. That grease out of there, because that's a useless place for it. You know what? I don't even know, guys. I don't even know what I'm doing here. I feel like grease is just gonna slide right off of here. Probably not even doing this properly. I feel like the grease is just gonna all get pushed right off. as soon as I push that pedal on. What a pain in the butt. Like, I really dislike using grease. But I gotta use it. Watch, this is all gonna get pushed off. It's like, it actually looks like something yummy to eat. I know it does not taste yummy, but okay. Anyway, this back on there and watch all that grease get pushed back where it does not belong. Oh, you know what? Oh, hey, it's not getting pushed off. Well, hey, and that feels much better. Much, much better. Goody. Goody, giddy, giddy. Okay, let's get this cotter pin back in. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Or whatever. What pin is this pin? The pin that the cotter pin goes in. What is that? Is that called a cotter pin too? Those are just my thoughts. Okay. That does not go through there all the way. Well, it's there. This on there. Now, it would be a miracle if I could find, shoot, the hole without actually having to look back here for it, but I'm not magic, I'm just angel. Okay, there we go. And I will bend that on here. Well, my camera turned itself off while I was in the middle of finishing up that brake pedal because it got too hot. So I didn't film the ending of that, so whatever. All I gotta do now though is the axles. So I'm gonna just put some Loctite on my axles and then torque those down. Now, the manual, it only tells me a torque spec for the rear axle, which is weird. I don't know why they wouldn't put a front wheel torque spec in there, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, so it's 60 to 65 foot-pounds for the rear. And then my dad just came out here and showed me how tight the front needs to be. Because like I said, I just don't know. So I'm gonna do the rear one first, and then I think I'm gonna use my torque wrench and just feel, because my dad just tightened the front wheel up to where it should be, and then I'm gonna take the nut off and put some Loctite on there. And then I'm just supposed to put it back to how tight it feels right now. But I'm gonna use my torque wrench and just try to figure out what that is. And I don't know why the manual doesn't tell you. I don't know. Do you guys know what it's supposed to be for the front? I've got a 21-inch. I've got a 21-inch wheel with an aluminum hub. So I tried to Google it, but Google was being slow, so my dad just came and showed me. He knows. Anyway, I'm gonna do this rear wheel, and I got my torque wrench set, but I'm gonna take this nut off. And then I will torque this up to where it needs to be. I guess I'm supposed to put a pin in. Yeah, I'll have to find a pin for that so the bolt doesn't back off. Now, these threads are already all nice and clean too, because I cleaned all this stuff like how it needed to be cleaned, because you don't want to put Loctite on a dirty thread because it won't stick then. And always shake your Loctite. Some people probably, well, most people probably know that, but I'm sure that some people do not know that. I think that is enough. I don't know. I never know how much Loctite. Anyway, let's get this done up. I love how Loctite just makes bolts just thread on so smoothly. Let's go that to the point where I have to put this on the other side. Should be close. Feels close. There we go. Oh. I'm gonna back it off. I was going all the way up to 65 foot-pounds, but oh crap. Oh, holy. Oh, I should still be able to get a pin through there, so that's good. Now I'm gonna go to the front and just try to feel. Now I'm gonna go to the front and just try to figure out what that tightness is on there with my torque wrench here. And I gotta get a different socket. All right, so bring this over here now. Let's see what is front. Right, now let's see what this front wheel feels like here on the torque wrench. Yeah, I'm gonna say 30. I don't even know if there's a point in that, but anyway, just get this ready to go. I feel like that should be done up tighter. I'm gonna go ask my dad about that. What the heck? This was Loctited. I'm gonna do it all again. Right, so last thing I gotta do on this thing today, and then I've gotta go home and get ready for work, like all Louise. Put enough Loctite on, yeah. I don't need my front wheel coming off. I know someone who's that happened to. His front wheel came off while he was riding down the highway, and yeah, he survived. He's had so many crazy accidents. This old biker guy that I know, who I basically grew up with. He's like an uncle to me. And he's just had so many crazy accidents. So like, yeah, his front wheel came off. One time he hit a horse and he woke up in the ditch with his bike on top of him on fire. So he actually had to get skin grafts from that. And then another time he was oops. Right. And then another time he was let me put this back. Okay. And another time, oh, for Pete's sake. Yeah. And then another time he was riding and a bear who's riding his Sportster. He's got all kinds of bikes. And a freaking bear ran out, and it ran between, like, here, and he crashed because of that. So, and he's never died. Well, obviously, like, he's still alive, but he, like, broke his back when his front wheel came off. He broke his... Yeah. Yeah, he broke his back when his front wheel came off that time. Still alive, still walking around, still riding motorcycles. He's had so many accidents. Anyone, like, there's so many people out there, if they get even, like, the slightest scare on their bike, or they're, you know, they drop their bike or whatever, they're, like, done riding. And I guess they just weren't really in it to begin with. But, not this guy. He's had all kinds of accidents and crazy things. And he still rides, and he's still very much into his motorcycles. But anyway, guys, that is it for my list of things to do today. So I am just going to go and, you know, get ready for work and eat something, because chocolate milk does not fill you up as much as you would hope it would. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I know, not anything super interesting, just Angel here, or whatever, Red Rider here, yapping away like I do, and, you know, a little bit of an update on Dyna, and a sneak peek teaser video of what it looks like now, all assembled and painted. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video a little bit, even if you didn't completely enjoy it, if you're still here watching. And like always, guys, you know what I say, if you like me, oh wait, what do I say? Oh yeah, if you like what you see, or if you just like me, or even if you don't like me but you like my bike, oh, okay, that's not a good shot of my bike, then like this video, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, and hit that little notification bell if you want to be notified every time I put a new video out. And I will catch you all on the flip side. Peace. This stuff is like the poop, man. I don't want to say poop because that's gross, because it's chocolate milk.